into this draft. Let's see what these adaptations are going to be.
On a note, by the way, the Ruby pick as well, I believe the natural lifesteal of that Ruby was also nerfed several patches ago, so that didn't help the case at all. Even though he's up against a glue, technically, in theory, he can heal up, he can be super tanky. Against that kind of burst damage also, doesn't really work out. Looking at the bans and picks for Game 2 though, let's see if a different story is told, because they are switching sides.
Yep, so far, NIGHTMARE on the blue side, banning out the Nolan, banning out the Terizla, as well as the Matilda. LILGUN on the red side, they've already banned out the Bruno, as well as the Khalid, looking for that third ban.
And it's going to be, okay, the Fermis. So that's taken out. I'm wondering if NIGHTMARE Esports wants to just take the Novaria first pick. Is that something they'd want to go with? Again, we know how useful that can be, but also you have to expect that on the flip side, you're going to see some of those heroes pop up that LILGUN likes to play with. Right now, one thing I would love to see, like I said for NIGHTMARE Esports, start off strong. If that, I don't know if that is gold lane for them, because the Bruno's taken out, you don't typically see another gold lane. Guinevere is open. Not sure if they want to go that route either. It's not going to be, they go the Arlot.
They go for the Arlot right here. I was actually curious about the 1-1, because we saw in one of their matches, NIGHTMARE, they picked up the 1-1 twice, I believe, first phase, so I thought there was a possibility that showed up. But not for LILGUNs. I feel like the Guinevere in Game 1 was so beneficial. The fact that it's left open right now.
I think they take it.
Yeah, I think they're going to definitely take it.
I'm thinking about counter-engage. Last game, NIGHTMARE had the Terizla, and you basically have to commit with the Flicker if you're not able to close that distance. Arlot kind of works in the same way, but if he lingers around long enough, he's able to get that free dash before going for the final stash. Now, let's have a look at the fun fact. Ethan is the man. Team LILGUN. Ethan ranks first in average assist, 13.33. Team fight participation of 85.4%, and a unique heroes used 8.
Wow.
What? He's taking everything, and look at this pick, dude. The 1-1, as I said, was left open. Like we're informing you, Wolf himself said in MPLI, during MPLI, it's one of the stronger heroes. Provided you have the same. Oh, what?
Whoa. All
triple.
three?
Oh.
Okay, I see a Boxia skin. It's kind of all right.
I'm getting split focus.
Keep on rolling.
Double light board.
Double light board.
Oh, no, that's not light board.
Oh, I thought for a second it's landslide. They're still rolling. They're still going.
Oh, he got the Harley.
He's got the Harley. We can see a Tigreal. Okay, Alpha Fierce Dragon. All right. Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Atlas is already pretty good. Mia. All right. Oh,
Those are decent.
those are pretty decent.
All right, dude.
Lightborn Tig.
Another Tigreal though. What was that?
It's a sign, Arashi.
It's a sign. I don't know, my fingers are getting itchy already, but I gotta focus on this game before anything goes out of hand. I see the Beatrix as well as the Contra get locked in for the side of NIGHTMARE Esports, denying it from Ethan's hands. LILGUN, on the other hand, is going to be taking, the Valentina as well as the Angela. A lot of juicy ults here so far.
I think that's a plan to really make use of the Final Slash or the Divine Judgment that is available from the side of NIGHTMARES. And in a way, if some, another crazy ultimate comes up, there's still a lot of options available. But I mean, even in the beginning, the 1-1 and the Angela, that's already quite a devastating combo. I think this is going to force some jungle ban from NIGHTMARE, because, a Boxia, like we saw in the skins earlier, or a Yutong could be a huge problem here, combined with the hard guard.
Or Tigreal.
Or Tigreal.
Let's go.
Might be the sign, right?
It might be the sign. Novara gets banned out for the side of Team LILGUN, but NIGHTMARE, they're going for those jungle bans. They're getting rid of the Martis. Let's see what else they're going to pair this up from the side of LILGUN, or at the very least, are they going to keep on focusing towards that mid lane mage?
Towards the mid lane, I feel like that's a safe bet. The Lilia is still available though. That really comes to mind, right? Having a good laning phase, as well as good roaming, particularly because now for the side of LILGUNs, there are less ways to really punish that big roam maneuver, and they're going to be banning the Akai, so I think they're a bit concerned about the big team fights, especially the ones near the neutral objectives. But here comes that Boxia ban. What kind of jungler is going to show up here?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I wonder if they'll go, because Martis is taken out as well, I wonder what they're going to throw in the jungle.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Yeah, might as well. It was open. And that's why I'm saying I'm surprised this time around NIGHTMARE Esports didn't opt for the Guinevere, knowing that even the stats. Oh, another drop.
Another drop. What do you get? Oh, the Empress Phoenix!
Wow.
Yo!
Oh my god!
Please conclude this game. My finger. I need to roll. He's still going.
He got
another Farsa skin.
He got the.
Did he get it?
I think he got the Ballman. Did he get the Ballman one?
He got the dunk?
The basketball Ballman?
I think so.
He got dunk
He just skipped it like he didn't care. He's like, ah.
He's double tapping it on accident, man. He's just going so fast. But let's look at the fun fact. We can't Retri versus too easy for Alexi. Tops the M5 wildcards with the most number of turtle steals.
Oh, wow.
I will say, I'm glad he picked up the Lancelot. This is a signature pick for Too Easy for Lexi, so you might as well pull it through now. And he, you know, he has so much experience in like tournament experience on the Lancelot alone. So we'll see if it's enough to handle LILGUN, right? Because the Guinevere is going to be there. They got to battle it out. And if he just relies on that stat alone, steal some turtles. That could be a great start for them.
And you're really seeing why they actually picked up the Kaja as well. It's going to be a big problem for the Lancelot. But for LILGUNs, that's going to be Aizen on the Uranus. I think we've seen this once before. It did not go well for their opponents, man. Aizen just stood there menacingly, and there's nothing their opponents can do about it.
Chest up, puffed up. What are you going to do about it, bro? What are you going to do about it? I'm going to cut all the waves.
I don't know if Uranus talks like that, man.
I'm sure Aizen does.
He needs the echo effect.
That's true.
Aizen does.
He just stands up from his secret lab chair, walks on over. What are you going to do about it? Holding his phone.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. With the compositions we've seen so far, a good way to sustain, a good way to maneuver around for the side of LILGUN. But even for NIGHTMARE themselves, they have answers. They have solutions. And I'm curious to see which of these strategies, problems, and solutions are going to be coming up on top as we head into the land of Dawn. We move into game number 2 between NIGHTMARE Esports versus the LILGUN.
So looking at the battle spells, Bebex is on that Inspire. Mirko says it's a necessity to play the 1-1. You don't go for anything else but that Inspire. So there's that. But in the jungle, man, Lancelot against the Guinevere, I feel like the Guinevere has so much more safety to try and even attempt plays, whereas the Lancelot is going to be a bit more limited, especially considering the amount of targeted card control that Team LILGUN does have on their composition.
Well, I mean, that's why people like to pick up the Lancelot, right? Yes, it is dangerous, but there's a lot of outplayability because of his kit, and that's the whole idea to get... Oh, hold on, this Little Water might be spicier than I thought.
Yeah, they're still going to be going quite low Soul. ZXORA might get another shot in as he does, but yeah, you know, back off to it. The one thing that I'm concerned about for Too Easy for Lexi here is also the fact that if Forbid actually takes the Divine Judgment, then it gets that much harder. The threat is there, you know, to actually contest some of those objectives or even some of the fights later on.
Ooh, look at Bebex just making the plays happen, man. Especially when you're on the Renner, it's going to be so difficult, and you can see this play coming in, huge, aggressive push into the jungle. He's trying to get Lexi out of the game.
Reach for Lexi. Oh, he can't escape that. First blood going to the hands of ZXORA.
Yeah, you want to dodge the Violent Requiem as well as Spatial Migration, but as soon as he pops that Violent Requiem, you're just stuck in it, especially when you don't have enough dashes to actually make that distance. Speaking of which, actually, we are starting to see some of the members hitting their level 4s pretty soon, and Aizen continuing to proxy this wave. He controls so much space down on the bottom side of that map.
That's the thing with the Arlet, though. You have a lot of burst damage, but that's burst, right? Against a Uranus, you need something a bit more consistent if you really want to take him down. So if he wants to reset and get some vengeances onto Aizen on the Uranus, it's going to take him into half HP, but then what? He just stands there, regens the full, and he always has the lane priority, and that is what Team LILGUN is trying to use right here.
Looks like NIGHTMARE Esports are not going to be able to walk up and have decided, you know what, we're not going to touch the turtle for now, right? Let's just move away from this control and start scaling up as quick as possible. We'll find another opportunity to get back into this.
Well, you know, they're still waiting. Wow, and Spatial Migration right where it needs to be. Going to find 2 targets. And I was just going to say before that happened, Jasmine's not even level 4. He is really gapped here in terms of just the pacing of the game and the way that it should work with the Kaja.
He just wants to breathe, man. He wants to play the video game.
Well, he doesn't have the same kind of liberties that Ethan had as game number 1. The EXP laner is not going to be there faster than the Uranus. That's number 1. Number 2, the jungler's an assassin, right? Not a fighter. So he's the one that's stuck all the way in the front. And with the emblem choice, he's going for the quantum charge, but would that be enough for his tankiness?
Too easy for Lexi. Is he going to be able to get away? Using that Thorn Rose, takes a shot as well, but he's going to be fine for now. Juviana now going to be joining the party. They do get the flicker out. That's the final slash from the Requiem. Still going to be finding it out. Looking for the kill still.
Whoa.
Heart Guard comes through, keeps him alive.
Huge save, but that means that Nightmare is able to actually take space, right? On that top side, they could potentially try and push Bibex out of there, and Ethan has to comply and has to move up there to deny that. And once Nightmare see that, back away. But cutting back down to EXP side, Juliana is like, please, end me!
I think it's only a matter of time before Aizen makes his way into the base of Nightmare Esports, dude. That's the only logical progression. He's getting closer and closer to it, even just living in the jungle. And on the other side, there's the rest of Team LILGUN. For Nightmare Esports, even if they want to try and catch Aizen, can they even have enough damage?
Cammy could be in trouble here. Ethan there, if he gets the flicker, might be able to survive still as he does. Jasmine waiting there. Not able to really do anything, and on the bottom side, Aizen just continuing to be a menace here on the bottom side, and now the focus,
do it again.
Top side turret here. Forbid has his own Divine Judgment. Jasmine taking a couple hits, and they might just back off. Turtle is spawned.
Okay, at least they were able to clear that wave on that top side, right? They're not going to go for the redive. The Turtle is up, right?
Hopefully.
Aizen's just living in the jungle, by the way.
He's being rent-free in the minds of the players of Nightmare Esports too, dude. Too easy for Lexi. There's no way he can even get any space. He's getting shooed away. Like, he just shooed away from this whole situation.
Heart going to be there. There's the final slash. They're going to push ZX Aura off. Let's see if Too Easy for Lexi can even get there. He's going to be bullied by Aizen too much. Just zoned out himself.
Oh, no.
And they're going to get control again of the Turtle here. Soul in trouble. Black Shoes. Forbid has the Divine Judgment. Doesn't even need to use it. And still, Team LILGUN finding win after win.
I think it's a fascinating approach here for LILGUN, man. They have a great mid lane combination, and they have relatively ungankable lanes. Now it's going to be a 1v2 from Juviana, but look at that. He can't really do much against this, this sustain coming in from Team LILGUN. So the side lanes have such output potential, the Uranus and the Wanwan, right? They can, crossbow of tying a wave and outplay. The Uranus can just out-sustain. And worst comes to worst, there's always the Heart Guard. So now Nightmare Esports are stuck in a position where they have no idea which lane can they play on.
They could get this off, the Divine Judgment, but there's the Heart Guard into 3 members of the Violent Requiem. Still going to be going Forbid, pulls his own member. Too easy for Lexi, is going to be the one to fall. Soul will still be able to live unless Forbid goes for it. They might still put the pressure here. Conceal going to be used as well, but they'll disengage for now.
Oh man, the only person who can really outplay himself right now, Forbid, is himself. Flickering into that wall, a bit unfortunate. That could have been a very, very free kill for him as well. But doesn't matter. Top side still losing a T1. Bot side is taking a good amount of damage in Aizen. I wish I could hear the what his inner monologue is telling him. Is like, okay, gonna do it again. Oh, what do you do? Hi. He's not even communicating with the rest of his teammates at this point, right?
He's saying that I'm him, bro. This is my anime. You guys are not the main character. I am him.
I am him.
Maybe the song I'm Just Ken plays in his head as well.
Well,
you never know.
Gonna be a disaster once again. Soul the one to go down this time. Again, we question how did they give up the Guinevere again to Team LILGUN?
That's a very difficult question to answer, man. And they picked the Kaja into the Angela as well. The more the game goes, the more you're seeing that is just such a tough situation. Now you lose in the wave clear assist, and you're also losing because your main power, your main strength, the pickoff, can't be utilized. Predictive spatial migration.
The fight for the purple buff. They force out the retribution. There's the final slash from Juviana, but it's Aizen. He's going to be just fine. And also Turtle for the taking here. Both retributions going to be down though. So Team LILGUN will go ahead and start it up and find what they can across the map.
That preemptive spatial migration, that was actually kind of sick. It was in the right direction. The prediction was on the right time. It was just slightly off in terms of the hitbox, right? That's all that it was. And even for Too Easy for Alexi, it's still a dangerous time. It's conditioning him to say that I am not safe in my own territory.
I think he used the puncture just a split second before the spatial migration actually lands. But now look at Tyson just taking everything. Can they get him?
He's got the immortality as well, so.
Oh no!
He doesn't really have to do much.
Soul's gonna die if he keeps standing there. Aizen can do this forever, like a very literal forever here. Nobody can really take him down until we see Cammy actually start scaling up. But we can see that even for Team LILGUN, right, they've got their eyes set on the opposite side of the map.
Right, looking at the in-game items, Lightning Truncheon completed for Forbid, so a lot more burst potential, more movement speed to maneuver around these fights. For Bebex, having the Demon Hunter Sword and the Corrosion Scythe, I think he's getting up there. I think with one more item, he's going to win of nature. He's going to try and go in aggressive in the next fight, most likely, and he can outplay so much with all the options he has.
Well, still fighting under the tier 2. Final Slash going to be used. Still have to fight it out, though. Soul trying to lay down some covering fire. Black Shoes himself. Bebex not even looking to kill, but Soul left to his own. He will fall. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, they finally got a turret there, pushing through, but still have to fight it out for their own buff. Spatial migration, gonna find too easy for Lexi again. Trying to get away, but he can't do it. Juviana now the next target. Final Slash, he puts himself in range, and it's a double for ZX Sora. Still gonna be going, now it's Jasmine on the run. He's stuck here. Forbid gonna hold on to it and gets the kill. It's a disaster for NIIGHTMARE Esports.
There was a potential for a turnaround there. I did see them both, Kaja as well as Beatrix, along deeper in that lane. They didn't expect Team LILGUN to actually walk in and keep pushing forward underneath the tier 2, and they had to make a split decision. And for Camry, he's like, it's not worth me dying. I don't want to be there. Get me out.
This is going from bad to worse, man. Ethan has just completed the Flask of the Oasis. He was doing all that without the Flask of the Oasis, dude. Now with the increased healing, with the shielding when you're low HP, pickoff is there's no pickoffs, okay? Pickoffs are not gonna happen. NIIGHTMARE Esports, they have to look for something else. Pickoff is just off the table. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, so far these Divine Judgments haven't really made that big of an impact compared to Team LILGUN in from Ethan in game number 1, right? We're expecting to see NIIGHTMARE try to be aggressive in these situations, and more so when Cammy is near to actually go for that wombo combo.
And so is now Zora, still on opening up the map. He's no Uranus, but honestly, he's been absolutely tanky, man. I'm not quite sure how that's even possible. I know he's building tank, but do you even see how tanky he is? He has built-in regeneration in the kit, right? With the stacks, technically, right? If you get a full one, you do heal up a bit, but still, dude, it's just Ethan in the back. It's not even always the hard guard. It's the healing.
Whoa, once again, too easy for Lexi, gonna get caught out. Tries to get away with the Phantom Execution. One shot away, he will be able to survive. Hard card gonna be used as well. Still, the Lord, even on the top side, alongside a Lord, a mini Lord, Aizen. So he is keeping them at bay. Still in the mid lane, going for it. Soul, the target, he falls. And it looks like Team LILGUN with a 10K lead will still push into the base. Working on that mid turret, too easy for Lexi. Takes a couple shots, Juliana with the Final Slash. There's the flicker come through, but can they get back? They get him down. Can they turn the tide of the fight still? Forbid also half health. Now they're gonna go and commit to it. Too easy for Lexi. Can't find the kill. He's looking for Cam. He has to get out of there. Now the spatial migration again. Still on the hunt. The Phantom Execution goes through. They're gonna take a couple turret shots. It's one hit away, but they will disengage.
You know what's worse than just a really tanky Uranus? A Uranus with a heart guard on it. Literally unkillable. The man, he hasn't based in a really long time. Doesn't need to, will never need to unless he dies.
They even lose his immortality in that fight. They fought that fight without Bebex.
Yeah.
Their DPS tool was not around. And they just said, we heal. And they just walk forward. They walk anywhere they want. The immortality isn't even popped, dude. How demoralizing is this for NIIGHTMARE Esports?
I'm not gonna lie, if I was in Juviana's position, I'd be like, all right, GG, go next. Like, I am like zoning out of that laning phase at that point. There's so little that you can do as an Arlott in this matchup. And worse yet, when you need the play to happen, he's so far behind, but he does find these really impressive follow-ups.
You almost feel like maybe there's some value in just going next immediately, because this is mental fatigue building up, man. Trying everything, trying to find a solution for such an obnoxious team comp right here. It's going to be so mentally taxing, it might even carry over to game number 3.
And it's not like these opportunities are being wasted. It's just that NIIGHTMARE Esports is just too far behind to really capitalize. They're getting stat checked right now.
Oh, look at those numbers. And right now, too, you know, Cammy, just got the 3rd item. I mean, he did get a kill earlier, but Gotta have something happen here, because even with a threat like this, Lord gonna be up here. They're gonna battle it out once again on this side of the jungle. There's the final slash, gonna be pulling it through. Heart Guard comes through on top of it. They have to run away. Aizen keeping 5 members there at bay. And ZXORA will go ahead and take this Lord with Team LILGUN.
What did I say? Stat check again! Oh, at least I got a tower. I mean, it's small retributions all across the board, but I don't know. This is starting to feel a little depressing.
Now Ethan also has the ice cream swan. Everyone's running away, but it's too
Forbid,
slow.
he's got it, but he's gonna go down before he can even use the Divine Judgment. So Forbid's taken care of. So NIIGHTMARE Esports, they have a little fight in them, but now they have to deal with the Lord come down the mid.
Hey, okay, not bad, not bad. Maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because from this point onwards, if they're able to somehow defend this upcoming Lord with a 9.3k deficit, and well, probably one more Lord after that, then they start to break even.
Well, there's a chance. There's the late game Lilia they can fall back on. Let's see, what will Team LILGUN do with this? The Lord's getting cleared up really, really fast. Aizen's trying his best to zone and he's run away. They go for a play though.
They jump in with a space of migration. It's Juviana, their target. They get him the crossbow tank too, forces the black. Still gonna be able to go. Bebex has the Heart Guard as well. Jasmine holding on to the Divine Judgment. They're gonna push in with these strengthened waves of minions. They'll fully expose the base. Too easy for Lexi, has to be careful how he approaches it. Turret finally gonna fall. They'll work on the base here. Cammy can clear these minions. Jasmine gonna use the conceal. Can they hold on a little bit longer? Team LILGUN full force into the base of NIIGHTMARE Esports. Gonna be looking to end it here if they can. Forbid has his own Divine Judgment. They find the target. Too easy for Lexi, he's quite low. They don't have any minions just yet. The next wave will push in. Juviana up again, there's the final slash with the spatial migration, goes through, still can't be able to find him, the crystal's gonna be worked on, another body's gonna fall, and make it another, and that's Team LILGUN taking game 2.
Ooh, bruh, that was a game. I mean, well done to Team LILGUN. Again, very cool, calm, and collected. Literally almost no emotion on their face. They're like, yeah, this was the expected result.
I mean, of course they are calm, collected. There's no danger. They're at no point in that game where they're like, oh, I'm gonna fall. If they do get taken out, they know it's a risky play. They weren't caught off guard a single time. The only moment that looks kind of sketchy was when they were going for the Lord and Forbid got pulled in with a Divine Judgment. But even then, he got out. But he went back in because you know what? Why not?
Why not? Why not? You're, what, nearly 10K ahead? You can take some risks like that, at that point. So, again, it makes me question, at least for game 3 at this point. Game 2, game 1, they're done now. But I would be so surprised if Guinevere is either banned out, if it's not banned out, or if it goes in the hands of Team LILGUN again, because that did wonders, but just all across the lane, it was exactly what they needed. And you guys painted that picture really well. This is a lineup that is nearly impossible to kill in the first, 5 seconds of an engage. Aizen alone on the Uranus was nearly unkillable. I don't think he did die.
I don't know who's going to be the MVP for a game like that, because they would continue to smash and smash and smash. We'll see which one of these stat checkers is going to be on top as we jump right into our MVP screen, brought to you by ROG. Give it up, boys, from the side-up team. A LILGUN coming in big time from this game. It's going to be ZXORA.
0 deaths, all the objectives. And man, he just knows how to engage on this Guinevere, man. He keeps getting the multiple members, or if it's not a multiple members, it's on the most unideal member to get picked off on the opposing side. And he's just abusing the tankiness, especially with the healing coming in from the Angela as well. He really knows the limits of this hero, man. You can really tell.
And hopefully when we do see it in the highlights later on, just the communication and the overall chemistry with the team as they are pulling on backwards, they make sure that they are in somewhat of a symmetrical, a linear line with each other, so that when Angela is out in the open, Ethan is able to heal everybody at once and heal multiple people at once. And usually that's not the case with a lot of teams, and they forget about that and they aren't efficient with it. They like to split up and only one person gets healed at a time.
Yeah, again, with this MVP performance here, game 1 was very apparent, though, even the same performance, but still, it's just, you have to wonder what can fall into place here for NIGHTMARE Esports. How can they adjust from this? And as we take a look at the highlights, we'll kind of see where things started to build up, early on with this. Even too easy for Lexi going down to the first blood to ZX Aura is kind of what started that thing in motion already.
And look at the engages even early on. It just works so much better for LILGUNs. For NIGHTMARE, you're wondering what exactly were they looking for, right? They're trying to mount some aggression, get some pickoffs, but overall, eventually, they just keep losing out right here because they're not sure what to do. They can't get a decisive finish, they can't go for a proper pickoff, and they don't win in the all-out team fight either. So I think their best bet was to bank on the late game and try and see if Cammy can really shred down Aizen, but 10k gold deficit, man. They weren't allowed to.
Could barely play the game, and honestly, I think even if you are in NIGHTMARE Esports' ring corner, I think it's just like, forget about that game, right? I think a lot of it is just, yes, it is mentally taxing, but we're moving on to the next one. And what was the major problem? The major problem, is it going to be the draft, or is it just not being proactive in getting that level, once you hit that level 4 and playing around the Divine Judgment?
I think the draft definitely has something to do with it, right? Like we said, I mean, the main tool is going to be the Divine Judgment, technically, but against an Angela, anyone who gets targeted can be saved, and the targets are already difficult on their own, right? The Guinevere and the Uranus. So eventually it's a matter of time. Bebex had a pretty okay time so far. The only moment where he was even targeted was that pickoff attempt in the mid lane, which did work, but did not even help the case of NIGHTMARE against LILGUNs.
Yeah, not only that too, but this was a very difficult game for SoSol. We usually see the Lily are picked up for a reason because it does provide a lot of early game damage. Even into the late game, you're able to kind of bait things out with the black shoes and withstand some of these onslaughts. But this time around, it was just, almost to the point where you had no impact for the game because you were just continuously shut down. And even when it came to the itemization, it wasn't where it needed to be. Again, a 15-minute game, very similar to the previous one.
I think early on, the rotations at least were kind of equal, right? We saw a lot of 2v2s, 3v3s, not a lot of people getting caught out, because if you look at the emblems, everyone's just going in for the, they're trying to get new shoes, man. They got the agility and the wilderness blessing, right? They want to be fast in the rotations because they know this game is all about being fast and being there first. The problem is, in the experience at least, Aizen doesn't have to get there first because he's always closer, right? He's cutting again and again. And along with that, the Lancelot, we thought there was going to be a lot more steals, a lot more attempts to actually equalize against Zora. But with Aizen in the picture, that just wasn't allowed, man. The first or second turtle fight was one of the saddest things I've seen a Lancelot do. He just got stood on by Aizen and slowly but surely got bullied out of his own jungle. That is tragic, man.
Like a sculpture being chipped away. Oh boy. I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right? And that's the problem. And this is why I have a deep hate for Uranus. And I'm hoping that it doesn't get picked in the next upcoming game. But considering its performance, it's like, why not? Because NIGHTMARE has been targeting Aizen. Why not let this sandbag be extra annoying for the rest of the game?
Even if you look across the board here, just everyone shined so much throughout this game because of how it was just one-sided, for the most part. And, when you look at this, and you have to kind of question, how do you shut down a Uranus early on, right? A lot of the times, Uranuses are just forgotten. And then that's usually what happens. Like, they're forgotten, they're left to their, cutting the waves, proxying the waves, and then eventually they're just unkillable, right? So at one point, it's one of those XP lane picks too that typically you don't think about too much, right? But if it is picked up, how do you deal with that? Is one of the questions here, Rashi.
I think you have to really get a good matchup first of all. If you're in a bad matchup, I think Arlott against the Uranus, you're going to need some outside intervention, man. There's no way you're going to get a solo kill in that situation. And along with that, you also have to kind of like gank the lane. A way we've